without fear before our enemies. We have sworn an oath to restore Biafra, or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. If the option they give to us is to seek our restoration by violence, every living thing living in the zoo will be destroyed. All the animals will be destroyed. It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. We dedicate it into the hands of Chukwu Abiyama, the creator of the heavens and the earth, because only him decreed that we should exist as a race, and only him has the say to decide and to determine if we are to survive or not. We don't rest our hopes in any man. We don't believe that any country can do anything for us. We are going to reaffirm our faith in the supremacy of the creator of the heavens and the earth, Chukwu Abiyama, upon to whom and in whom every glory and honor belongs to. That's why we worship him and nothing else and no other. We worship the one true living God. That is who we worship. That is why we were created. We are not like any other people. We have been chosen by Chukwu Abiyama to serve him. We have been chosen by the creator of the heavens and the earth that we may serve him. That is why in our names it contains every praise imaginable. Every praise imaginable to the Most High is contained within our names, because we are very special people. We are here to reaffirm and reiterate that. We are here to ensure that this very march towards our freedom cannot be hindered. Any obstacle on our way, real or imagined, man or woman, adult or child, anything it is, once you are an impediment to the restoration of the sovereignty of Biafra, you will be destroyed completely and totally. In every way imaginable. We do not forgive. There is no forgiveness in our dictionary. We are here to ensure that the
Miles.
Thank you very much, Mazi, Jonathan. I hope I am coming out clear.
You are, please, Mazi, go on, continue.
Thank you so much. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night to you wonderful, great Biafrans all over the world. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe Oma. Ihe Oma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwu Abiyama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of territory. Today, as Jonathan already said, is the 9th of September 2022. And on Tuesday next week, being the 13th of September 2022, we have been informed that the Court of Appeal of Abuja, Nigeria, the zoo, will be holding to hear the appeal of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, against the biased and unjustifiable decision of the Abuja High Court, presided over by Justice Binta Nyako. Great Biafrans, as our leader has already requested, and as we all also know that many of us and many of you out there have continued to supplicate unto heaven, unto Chukwu Abiyama, and of course, unto our ancestors. Our leader specifically requested that we continue in prayer. And we will continue in prayer that the heaven may take honor and glory on that day, and that the children of Chukwu shall have a cause to rejoice. Therefore, we must continue to pray and commit Onyendu in the hands of Chukwu and those of us, we know that this is an appeal, a court of appeal sitting. And we also know that usually most of the time, not always, sometimes, the appearance of defendants are not necessarily required when appeals are being, when appeal court is sitting. But we will not take anything for granted. Therefore, I will ask those Biafrans who are in and around Abuja and its environs, if there is a call for duty, those of you in the very northern region, you should make arrangements to be in Abuja Court of Appeal on the 13th of September. We must continue to show solidarity with our leader and, of course, with our able team of legal representatives. Those in Abuja, let me repeat, make arrangements. Those in the environs of Abuja and those in the northern region, make arrangements to be at the court on this very day. As the legal team are pursuing the legal aspect of the release, the unconditional freedom and liberty of our leader, we will also not relent in our international demand for his release as well. And in that direction, we have penciled down the 17th of October. The 17th of October 2022 to be a day of IPOB Family Worldwide Rally in London. A 1 million man march will take place in London on the 17th of October. All roads, therefore, must lead to London on that very day. From all corners of the globe, arrangements must be, our people must begin to make arrangements to move down to London on this very date. Begin now to ask for those of you who are employed, begin now to put in requests for to be granted off on that very day, or at least 2 days, from your workplace. The details of the rally, the flyers will be coming in due time. We will be making it public very shortly so that our mobilization will continue until the day we will surpass. Biafrans, we must surpass what we did in Brussels in July. The Brussels was great, it was wonderful from all aspects, but we must surpass not only in attendance, but also in making sure that our demand is heard and listened to by the world authorities and the world powers and countries. Now, there is something very, very troubling that is happening in Biafra land. a serial abuse of Biafran teenage girls by the Nigerian Janjaweed military. The abomination, this abomination being committed by Nigerian security agencies, be it the army, the police, the DSS, in their respective detention facilities across the zoo, where they have filled these detention facilities with Biafran youths, young men and women. The abomination that is happening there, the defilement of teenage girls, underage girls, is very, very troubling. It's very troubling, and we know that the zoo and all its institutions are built on lies and denials. Amnesty International brought out a report and indicted the Nigerian army, the Nigerian secret police, the Gestapo DSS, the Nigerian police, of committing untold crime against humanity by way of abducting, kidnapping, and extrajudicially murdering our youths and our men, and of course our women. They have denied it, but we can see, we have seen, we are receiving very genuine reports, eyewitness reports of the crime of rape that these murderers and these cursed men in uniform are committing against the Biafran youths, and specifically Biafran young girls. The problem is that they do not even distinguish whether one is an underage girl or a grandmother in this their barbaric and animalistic act of rape. They do not make any distinction. Their purpose is to defile our women. Some they have impregnated. Some will die in the course of being defiled uncountably. These men do not make any distinction. Men who have no, in fact, I call them morally delinquent. They have no morals. As the most painful part is that as our youths are being abducted in the dead of the night, as our girls are being kidnapped, these evils are happening and being committed in our land, and the elders of the land are nowhere to be found. Those who love to be called the leaders, who cherish so much to be called elders of the land and leaders and political leaders and religious leaders, these evil are being perpetrated before their very eyes. The custodians of our values and culture, they have all lost their voices. Why have they lost their voices? Because they have abdicated their responsibility to hide under the cover of their wife's wrapper. They have abdicated their duty. They have become lily-livered. And it is these same individuals that will, at the slightest opportunity, At the slightest, happening or event, they will complain that the youths are disrespectful, that the youths are not respecting their elders. And I ask, how can you expect a young man or even a young woman? How can you expect a person who look up to you as an elder, as a religious leader, as a traditional ruler? How can you expect them to respect you when you have abdicated your duty, when you have refused and neglected to speak against evil that is being committed daily on either his young sister or even his mother? How can you expect them? It is these troubling happenings in our land that has empowered and emboldened, because the leaders cannot, those who call themselves elders and leaders, they cannot speak. They have refused to speak. Now these marauders, these murderers, these morally backward individuals in the army or police uniform or even the DSS, whatever they call them, they have escalated their evil in that they now harvest. They harvest the organs of our youths. They arrest them, take them to their military barracks, the police detentions, unknown places, without any access to family, to doctor, or to their legal representative. We have the case of the young teenage girl, Idara Go, for the past 10 months and counting. This young woman has, we do not know what has become of her, if she's still even alive. What was her crime? Idara God was celebrating her birthday, and she decided to put on a clothing of her choice. That was her crime. She was abducted. We cannot even begin to imagine what has happened to this young woman. And where are the elders? Where are the politicians? Where are those who will come to you and every 4 years and ask you, I will vote for me and I will do this for you? Where are these people when their children have become a sport to be killed? The Nigerian security agencies have made our youth a sport for testing their I don't know how they can easily or quickly kill somebody and defy them. Where are the youths? And this is happening all over Biafra land. All over Biafra land, from Enugu to Anambra to Ebonyi, from Ebonyi to Delta State, from Delta to Bayelsa State, to River State, just name it, and to Imo State, which has become the pinnacle of this gruesome and cruel barbarism against our people. Imo State, the city, has become the center of all that has brought out the untold, unimaginable wickedness in the Nigerian security agencies and, of course, the militias that are being formed here and there by these governors. Where are the elders, I ask? Where are the custodians of our culture and our values? Where are you, religious leaders? Are you not missing some of your congregants who attend your churches? Have you not heard that they are missing? What have you done? But when the youth will begin to actually assert their rights, that is when you people will ask them to calm down. Calm down for what? So calm down so that they can continue to be mauled down daily in broad daylight. Calm down so that they will continue. The Nigerian army will continue to kidnap them and forcefully enforce their disappearances and rape those that they can rape. The face of this evil we have seen it that in the face of this untold wickedness, that the vulture in Imo State, which has become the center of all this wickedness, there the person who usurped what never belonged to him is now adding salt to injury. And he is inviting his co-bloodsucker in Aso Rock to our land. He is inviting the impostor in Aso Rock to come into our land to urinate upon the graves of those that they have jointly killed. He is inviting this murderer into our land to come and spit on our faces and ask us, what can he do? He is inviting this man while he is still holding the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra hostage. And we say we cannot accept that. We will not accept that. Therefore, tonight, the visit of Jubril, going by the name of Muhammad Buhari in Imo State, is unwelcome. He is not welcome in Biafra land and not in Imo State. He is unwelcome, and we will demonstrate our anger and our rejection of this man in our land. They have fixed his visit to happen on the 13th of September, Tuesday, next week, the same date that they are taking our leader to court. The same day that they are trying an innocent man whose only crime was because he asked for the liberty and freedom of his people. The same day that this vulture in Imo State is inviting the murder of our people into our land to come and laugh at us. The 13th of September, Tuesday, 2022, is hereby declared a total lockdown of the whole of Biafra land. Total sit at home. Total. Animals or whatever you call yourself, we will not want to see you on the road. Try us and see what we can do. There will be total lockdown on Tuesday, the 13th of September 2022. The whole of Biafra land must be under lock and key. I am therefore calling upon our brethren in Biafra land, the market leaders, the transport association workers and transport owners association, the schools and the clergy, the churches, we are asking you tonight that on Tuesday, the 13th of September, you must let whatever you have to do on that day be postponed for another day, because we will lock down everywhere. School children must not go to school. School institutions, educational institutions must not open. Banks must not open. Nothing will move on Biafra land on Tuesday. We will not accept, this generation cannot accept that you can continue to kill us, maim us, incarcerate us, rape our young men and our young women, murder our mothers and our fathers and their farmlands, and you hold our leader for committing no crime, and you are inviting a murderer in our land to come and spit on the grave of those he killed. That will not happen, and that cannot happen. Every one of us from tonight, you make your arrangements and make sure you have what you need on Tuesday. You go out, whether you want on Monday or Sunday or Saturday, and buy what you need for Tuesday. Total lockdown from 4 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m. on Tuesday. There shall be no movement. No movement. If you want to try us, try and let's see. The Nigerian contraption, the zoo, is a fraud, a big fraud. And I will tell you why it is a fraud tonight. They call it the Zoological Republic of Nigeria, and that is why that is an apt, very, very apt and appropriate name for this this enterprise set up by the British. This Zoological Republic is worse than the Yahoo tricks and fraud that they are using to molest young men. Recently, the Northern Elders spokesperson, in the name of Hakim Baba Ahmed, or whatever he calls himself, he said that Biafra did not exist before the amalgamation of zoo. Have you heard anything like that before? Amalgamation that happened in 1914. This man in Korokoro daylight, he came out without shame to spit the nonsense that Biafra did not exist. He even said Oduduwa did not exist before, or Yoruba did not exist before the amalgamation of the zoo in 1914. This is what now, I want all of you to pay attention. This is one of the reasons why they removed history from the school curriculum in their schools. This is one of the reasons. So that this generation, or the children born already now in this generation, and the coming generations, will be a product of half-baked education, which we all know that half-baked education is worse than no education, I'll tell you. Can you begin to imagine a people without history? Can you conceptualize? Can you begin to think about a people without history? Is history not simply the past? That is what it means. History just is the past. And somebody is telling you that you have no past. You have no past. You are just in the present. Therefore, don't think about history. That That is the reason they took the history from the curriculum to put a cotton wool over your eyes, to dampen your hunger to know from where you're coming from, where you are at the present and where you have to be in the future. If they tell you that you do not need to know your past, if anybody tells you that you don't need to know your past, it simply presupposes, it simply means that there is something, some knowledge, some very important information that they want to bury forever and forever. Unfortunately, however, for them, IPOB is here and this generation is here. Unfortunately for them, heaven sent our leader Nnamdi Kanu. Unfortunately for them, he has built an army that the ideas and ideology that he has impacted in us cannot be stopped either by incarceration, by arrest, nor by bullet. 1 million or 1 billion Nigerian soldiers cannot stop the coming of Biafra. They cannot stop what Ukiki has ordained that it must happen. And it will happen in their presence, in their face, it will happen. IPOB is here. And IPOB has become the nemesis of these charlatans that call themselves the zoo leaders. This quota system, doctor, no sense. That is what he wants us to believe. This man wants us to believe. He wants us to believe that 1914 is where we must begin to count or talk about our history. He wants to turn history upside down because he knows. They know. It is well calculated, premeditated. They know that the history of the Fulani in the zoo dates back only to the 19th century. Just 18 something. That is their history in the zoo. That is what they want to use to compare to a civilization that has existed for millennia and millennia. I am sure that many of you, those who are listening tonight, those who had the opportunity to do some history or did some history during their secondary school days, I am sure that you may have heard about Oyo or Dahomey Empire. And if you take just a little bit back when these empires stood, when they existed, these existed in centuries, 500 years before even the Fulani even began to imagine that they will move away from the foothills of Footage Island, led by vultures, to find or to come to the zoo and carry out their jihad. They are trying to tell you that you have no use so that their jihad can continue. That is all this is all about. And I want to tell you, all of us tonight, that the Fulani, all that they are doing is subtle. They are at the middle stage of their jihad. They cannot no more openly, carry out the jihad as they did before. So they are using every state apparatus, every state institution to emasculate the inhabitants, the indigenous, the indigenous inhabitants of the land, so that they can take over the land and then wipe away generations that may have, had the opportunity to know where their history began and where and how they have found themselves in the quagmire that is called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. It is this quota system, Dr. Hamid or whatever. He wants to convince dollars like himself. He wants to convince those who are, in the same, having the same agenda like him himself, that the ancient kingdom of Biafra, the cradle of civilization and democracy, the center of the universe, did not exist before 1914. It is laughable. It is mind-boggling, I have to say. This man is telling us the place where you have 0 longitude and 0 latitude, the beginning of the beginning, the center of the earth. He's telling us that it did not exist. I don't know if people are comprehending where these people are coming from, where they are going. And they have done their economic emasculation. They have done their pogroms and genocide. They have tried to, in fact, they are in the process of emasculating our culture and value system. Now they want to tell you that the center of the universe is only, in fact, it never existed until 1914. How I don't know what else to call this if not total madness. You see, this is why Onyendu, our leader, always asked them to tell us who they were, who are you people? Those who are now, who have been modeled to get into this British economic experiment. Those of you, the indigenous, who were you before that amalgamation of the zoo took place in 1940? And even if you want to, even if for the sake of argument, you say, okay, the documents are available strictly and clearly states that the colonizers entered into treaties with Biafra. So, if they entered into treaty with Biafra, is this Biafra that they enter into treaty with in the sky or under the earth or in the seas? It is the same spot where we are, where we have always been, and where we shall always be to the glory of heaven and to Biafra. It is this spot. The conspiracy against us is not just Fulani. Fulani is the hand that the powers are using to try and see if they can drive us away from the center of the earth so that they can come in and then take over the blessings which is embedded in that land. And I'm telling them tonight that they cannot succeed because it is like you're fighting what you cannot see. You are seeing young Biafrans, you are arresting them, you are incarcerating them, you are murdering them, you have extraordinary rendition their leader. You are kidnapping them. You are forcefully disappearing them because you think you can cow us into raising our hands and say, please come and take over. In fact, you are a big dreamer. They are big dreamers, and they will wake up from their slumber and from their dream before they know it. And that day shall be the day the heralding of the kingdom of heaven on earth shall be heralded. The Biafra, free, sovereign, and independent nation it will happen before their very eyes. If the Fulani do not have a history, we Biafrans, we have a very rich history. We have a very proud history, and we are very proud of it. And no one, not man, not woman, not spirit, can take that away from us. That is who we are. That is who we were. And that is who we shall ever remain to the end of time. The children of heaven, the light that Chukwokike has put on this earth, and the hope of the black race. Because of this, we must help the zoo to do what? To fall over the cliff. Biafrans, I want you to pay very good attention tonight, because we must help the zoo to do what? In fact, we have to push it. It is already at the precipice. The zoo is at the precipice. Everybody knows. They are lying to themselves. Those in the zoo. You are lying to yourself. It does not matter. You can deny it. The world knows that you are standing at the precipice. Now the Biafrans will help to push you over the cliff. And how are we going to do this? It is a divine duty from tonight and from tomorrow that every Biafran must do all that is needed to be done to expedite the destruction and the disintegration of this British enterprise called the zoological contraption of Nigeria. Every Biafran has a duty. Whether you are our mother that is selling vegetables in the market, I am speaking to you. Are you the carpenter that is doing your work, practicing your trade? I am speaking to you tonight. Are you the market man in our great markets in Onitsha, Nnewi, Aba, and the rest of it? And those of you in foreign lands like Lagos, Kanu, and all the rest of it, I am speaking to you tonight. Are you a worker employed either by the zoo or by anybody, private or public sector? I am speaking to you as well tonight. And also, are you a religious person? I am as well speaking to you tonight. We have a divine duty to help push this contraption over the precipice into the abyss. To this effect, and starting from tomorrow, the zoo naira is worth less than paper, toilet paper. Take it, pardon. The zoo naira. Now listen, the zoo. It is not if the zoo will disintegrate. It does not matter what the politicians are doing. It does not matter the whatever anybody wants to do or say. The zoo will disintegrate sooner and sooner. And when it disintegrates, when it is destroyed, like when you said with the truth, and we have done that. He did it more than any other person, of course. He has exposed the lie that is called Nigeria. Now, when this lie finally is destroyed and disintegrates, that thing they call their money, naira, if you have it 1 trillion, it is a waste paper for you, because we will not use it in Biafra land. If you have it 1,000, it is a waste paper for you, because no country will take it. Therefore, you must begin to think ahead. Remember 1970. Remember, Asina, if you fool me once, it's my fault. But if you fool me twice, I am a fool. Right. If you fool me, you can fool me once, yeah, because probably I wasn't aware. It's your luck. But if after you have fooled me and you come again and fool me the same way a second time, then I must be a fool. We must not forget 1970. They gave you 20 pounds. 20 pounds, irrespective of what you had in the bank. Millionaires, we had them. Millionaires, when money was money. You had to be given only 20 pounds to start alive, to start afresh, to start a new life. And because you are a blessed race, because you are a blessed generation, because you are beloved of Chukwu Abiyam, how many years from 1970? Can you tell me if there is any single race, maybe if you begin to really compare, probably the Jews of Israel, but there's no race that has survived and surpassed every expectation from our humble beginnings to where we are today. That is why I said it. Listen carefully, because 1970 is about to repeat itself. What the Fulani are not, they are not keeping Naira. They will steal the money. They will steal the oil. They will sell it. They keep their funds in foreign currency, not in Naira, because they know the zoo is falling and it will disintegrate and the Naira will be worthless. Worthless. That time, the Zimbabwe money you had to carry it. You had to carry it on a wheelbarrow, for you to buy a loaf of bread. That would be actually to compare to what is going to happen to the zoo and its Naira. It was okay for the Zimbabwe. Nobody would take your Naira to even buy bread. Now, therefore, this leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra is calling upon all Biafrans tonight. Convert every excess Naira that you have into the following foreign currencies. If you are a worker, they pay your salary. You know what you spend in a month. Just leave that one that you will spend in that month. The rest, convert it into any of these following currencies. If you're a market woman, a trader, a teacher, whatever you may be your occupation, whatever may be your work, whatever you make, excess of it, apart from the one that you use on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, the rest, convert it into any of the following currencies that I'm going to mention tonight to you. And please, when you convert this money into any of these currencies, don't put it into the bank, please, because in the Fulani, I'm sorry, I will speak this in English, in Igbo. They jiranya for foreign currency. Ndi Fulani jiranya for dollar, na pounds, na euro, na yen, and the rest of it. They will go there and of course, bring one overnight law and take all your money. Don't keep it in your house. Don't keep this money you have converted into your house, because before they will say that IPOB has now told people to convert money and keep it in the house, and then criminals will start to go to house and begin. The army, actually the police in uniform, not criminals actually. The police and the army will begin to now go to your house and begin to do what? To tell you where, show us that dollar, show us that oil. Don't keep this money in your house. Don't keep it in your bank. Because if you keep your money in the bank, What the police are doing, they move around with POS or whatever they call it, all these machines, and they will tell you, give us the PIN, and they will take all you have saved there. All you need to put there is what you need for the month. They will, if anybody takes it, you have a backup. You have something that you will use to begin life at the declaration of Biafra. The currencies that you must change your funds into. And I'm asking our people, we don't want what is happening with the EFIBO to repeat itself. Our people must begin to be their brother's keeper. Because what the report we are hearing is that people are, rearing our local cows, and they are selling these cows exorbitant. Why would that be? Why must you deliberately be profiteering from your own brother when you know that it's all for the survival of all, for every one of us? So all of you who are in money exchange, you will make your money, of course, because the more you change, just follow the economic principle of production of the more you produce and the more you sell at a little gain, the more you can make out of it. Not that you want to sell one and then become a millionaire. So please don't begin now to start to turn the exchange rate into something that people will begin to get offended with or get pissed off about. These currencies that you can change your money, that anytime the zoo disintegrates, anytime Biafra comes, you can change this money and use it to change it into the Biafran currency that will be introduced and begin to live your life and build your life and start a new life. The European euro, the American dollar, some of these are, of course, they are colonial money, but we have no choice at the moment. Until we become a nation, we will show them what a nation is and what our currencies will be. It cannot be. It's not they will call it the Biafra pound. How can we call it pound anyway? That's for another day. Now, like I said, these currencies include the European euro, the American dollar, the Swiss francs, the Japanese yen, the Canadian dollar, the Australian dollar, the British pound, of course, the South African rand, yes, and the Ghanaian cedi, yes. If you can change your money into South African rand, don't change it in French francs or with because when you change it, you are also supporting France to continue to impoverish our French-speaking brothers in Francophone area. Don't change it into French franc. Change it any African. If you want to change it to an African currency, change it to Ghanaian cedi or to the South African rand. At least their money is still stable. Their environment is also politically stable for the moment, so their money will continue to appreciate. And when you change it at the time Biafran currency will be introduced, you will have something to begin life. And I want to repeat, after converting this money, don't put it in the bank. Don't put it in your heart. Well, you people have common sense now. You can think out where you can. If you don't know anything else, go and hide it. Go and dig a ground and put it somewhere there. Convert your naira into any of these currencies because the zoo will fall. It will fall. And your naira, when zoo falls, will be worthless. Worthless. I have spoken. Those of you in the north, when you make that exchange, come back to the east and keep that money somewhere. Don't tell anybody. Don't even tell your wife. Maybe only your wife, of course, so that other mama on the in English, in case of incasity, you can tell your wife. just the two of you will know. And your wife that you trust. If you don't trust your wife, please. But I wouldn't go into marriage issues here. My message to all of us tonight, to Biafrans tonight, is that we must begin from tomorrow to accelerate the complete disintegration of the economic nerve of the zoo, which is the Biafran people that are holding this country. Let us do this for 1 month. Let us do this for the next couple of months, and the result will show by itself. Biafrans, as I have said already, 13th of September 2022 is a total and absolute lockdown in Biafra land. All must put their hands on the deck, because this battle is for all of us. And the victory we must get. For us, it is Biafra or Biafra. There shall be neither retreat nor surrender as far as this struggle is concerned. Now, I have some announcements to make, my dear great people of Biafra. I have some announcements to make, and these announcements go this way. The following persons are assigned a new responsibility or responsibilities, as the case may be, in the IPOB worldwide family. These individuals have been appointed to these positions to continue to strengthen the family and continue to work towards our objectives and our goals, which is the unconditional release of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and the ultimate, because it is Mazi Kanu or Hamadike that will lead us into the free sovereign Biafra nation. Whether the enemy like it or not, whether they like it or not, Onyendu is rejoining us the soonest. Mazi Chika Edoziem is appointed the new IPOB China Family National Coordinator. All principal officers, all IPOB family members in China, and of course in all other countries that I'm going to call, you must give these new principal servants the maximum cooperation, the maximum support, and work in concert with them as they carry out their responsibilities and implement instructions passed down to them from the hierarchy of this very great country. Mazi Chika Edoziem also is the new IPOB China Family National Coordinator. Of course, our family in China, they already know this, but I want to make it more public so that the world will also know. And other family members of IPOB in the world will also be aware of it. Mazi Ebiwe is appointed IPOB Netherlands National Coordinator. Mazi Ebiwe is our IPOB National Coordinator for Netherlands, also called Holland. Mazi Tochukwu Mado is appointed the IPOB Malta National Coordinator, and Mazi Mado replaces the former National Coordinator who moved to another country. And of course, as you move to another country, I believe you will continue to be part of this noble family there. Do not relent, do not retreat, and do not surrender. Remain focused, remain dedicated in your duty or in your new family that you have moved to, your new place of residence. Mazi Iken Nanjoko is the new Scotland Regional Coordinator. Ikenna Njoku is the new Scotland regional coordinator for IPOB UK family. He replaces Mazi Jocelyn Ndiulo. Mrs. Uju Ebosimba is also the new coordinator for IPOB North London Zone. Mrs. Uju Ebosimba is the new IPOB North London Zone coordinator. Mazi Mike Ezebiro is appointed the new IPOB Anambra North Senatorial Coordinator. Mike Ezebiro is the new IPOB Anambra North Senatorial Coordinator. Anywhere we see those who are not supposed to be in our midst, for having other agenda, we will not spare them. That is why we will continue to sanitize this family and to purge every parasite. I don't want to plagiarize. Of course, we heard our Lord, our leader's wife, marvelously describe some of these individuals in our midst. And so I'm not going to plagiarize, but I'm saying that anyone who is in our midst that has ulterior reason to be in our midst, we will find you out, we will purge you, we will remove you, we will expel you, as the case may be. Mike Ezebiro is appointed the new IPOB Anambra North Senatorial Coordinator. Mazi Mike Nweze is appointed the new local government coordinator for IPOB Nnewi North. Mike Nweze is appointed the new local government coordinator for IPOB Nnewi North in Anambra State. Mazi Chukwu Neta is the new IPOB Obaru local government zonal coordinator. Mazi Chukwu Neta is our new local government coordinator for Obaru in Anambra State. Mazi Noel Okongu is the former secretary of IPOB in Omaba Zone. He now takes over as the zonal coordinator for Omaba Owuwa Anyanwu Zone. Mazi Noel Okonkwo is the new IPOB Omaba Owuwa Anyanwu Zone zonal coordinator. And Mazi Solomon Nubia is appointed the new IPOB Western Cape coordinator. Mazi Nubia replaces Mazi Innocent Alia, who from tonight is the former Western Cape coordinator. The following individuals, for actually not understanding what this struggle is all about, and for acts that do not merit their positions and the responsibility that was given to them, they are suspended indefinitely from their positions. And the followings are Mazi George Ume. Mazi George Ume is suspended from being IPOB North London Zonal Coordinator indefinitely. And Mrs. Meshi Onkwe, who was Michigan Zonal Coordinator, she is also suspended indefinitely. And the Michigan Zone is shut down forthwith. The Michigan Zone is closed. We, like we are always known to do, we will rebuild the Michigan Zone from scratch into a more formidable and more cohesive and, of course, very, very important zone in London. Michigan Zone, former coordinator by the name Mrs. Onkwe, is indefinitely suspended, and that zone is closed down. Now, these individuals have no reason to be in our midst, and they are, of course, expelled forthwith. Mazi Jocelyn Ndiulo is relieved of his duty as IPOB Regional Coordinator for Scotland and expelled. We don't take nonsense in this family, not at all. We do not take prisoners. If you do not know, in fact, if you do not, you are still a principal officer and you don't know why you are here, tender your resignation and we will find apt and appropriate and willing family, hardcore IPOB family members to, of course, take the responsibility to guide and lead our people wherever you may have decided to turn in the towel. And Mazi Nelson Ume Ebe, Mazi Nelson Ume Ebe, he was the former Ambazonia coordinator. He's expelled for soliciting for unauthorized funds from the public in contravention to IPOB's standing order. You don't go around using IPOB's name to defraud people, and they will think you are supporting this drug. That and Biafra land has been told to cease from for any form of collecting funds and raising funds. If you have issues with money, you contact the leadership, and to the best of our ability, we will be able to see what can be done from this angle. But don't go out of your way and begin to defraud people. When you do this, you are putting our hard-earned name into disrepute, and we cannot tolerate that. Mazi Ugo Michael Marizu. Mazi Ugo Michael Marizu is IPOB Quebec, Canada. He is expelled for gross act of indiscipline. Continuous gross act of indiscipline. This is somebody that was suspended, and after a time he was brought back, but he has not learned his lesson. Therefore, we cannot continue to pamper anybody who refuses to listen and who refuses to sue us. He is expelled from this very, very family in Canada. And together with him is Mazi Chika Edoziem from IPOB Quebec. He's also expelled for gross act of indiscipline. This young man, in IPOB, we do not fight a family member, but this man has the temerity to use a sharp object to break the head of our coordinator in Quebec. Who gave you that authority? Who gave you the temerity to even lay your hand upon somebody who is serving IPOB? That is, you have crossed the red line, and therefore you do not belong. You do not belong, in fact, to this very, very noble family. And Eunice Onya is a former women leader in Idemili South. Eunice Onya also doesn't know what discipline means, and she doesn't know what following instructions means. She is expelled from being IPOB family member in Anambra State, and of course, she is no longer IPOB women leader in Idemili South. Now also we have Chukuma Nwangu. Chukuma Nwangu, a unit coordinator in Zone 1, Okija, Anambra State. This man is also known with the name, because him and a big name that kills a dog. He's also called Aku Enwebe. Well, this man, you see the name is answering Aku. Aku means somehow one of the meaning of Aku is wealth, and he is so possessed with making wealth that he has turned himself into a criminal. Being in our midst as IPOB principal, we will not spare you. He is simply a criminal in our midst and has no place in this noble family. Chukuma Nwangu, a unit coordinator in Zone 1, Okija, Anambra State, also known with the name Akwenwebe. He has been expelled from this family. Mazi Adendu Uyo. Adendu Uyo is formerly the IPOB Pretoria Deputy Zonal Coordinator. he is also expelled. And finally, Mazi Sunday Udaja. Mazi Sunday Udaja is the Sunyani Zonal Coordinator, who is also a regional coordinator in Brong, Ahafo in Ghana. This man is also expelled, and he does not belong here. All of these people that I have called their name for expulsion, they do not belong here. We have no problem. We, this family, we are not, it's not as if we want to claim that it is only us that must fight for Biafra. No. IPOB, led by Martin Nnamdi Kanu, has its objective set before it. And if you wish and desire to belong to this family, you must follow the rules of this very, very movement. We are not here for tito tato or for dilly dally or for any other thing, but to make sure that our people receive or regain their liberty and freedom as a race, their dignity as a nation, and of course, take over their heritage which Chukwu Abiyama has blessed them with. All of those who have been appointed tonight as responsible, as being given different responsibilities, I am pulling your ear. I speak this one for broken. I pull on your ear. Don't go in there and begin to, because you have been given a new responsibility, you begin to misbehave. If we get you, you will not know what hit you. Just do your job. If something is not very clear to you, ask your superior, and they will properly and guide you well, And so I am reiterating, and because one of the most important message tonight is that the 13th of September 2022, being Tuesday next week, of course, that is the day that our leader's case will come up in Abuja Zoo Court of Appeal. Those in Abuja and its environs must do the needful. Support, show solidarity to our leader and show solidarity to our legal team, and make sure you also keep your eyes open. Watch out for your brothers while you are there. And as we always do, we do it the way that the world will always marvel that how these people are disciplined is beyond what is known in Black Africa. Those that must go to Abuja from for this very court case within the northern region and Abuja environment and its environs, please be security conscious. Now, the very second important message tonight is that the 13th as well of September, being Tuesday 2022, is a total lockdown in Biafra land. Buhari, or whatever he calls himself, the person who is being invited by the vulture in Imo State, is not wanted in our land. You cannot come to our land and spit upon the grave and urinate upon the grave of those you murdered. You cannot come and laugh in our face and tell us when you build a toilet, you call the bloodsucker to come and laugh at us. We will not accept it, and we cannot condone it. By the grace of Elohim, Chukwu Abiyama, Chukwu, and our ancestors, Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra for us is not just a name. It is more than a name for us. Biafra is more than our identity. Biafra is more than our heritage. Biafra is our being. It is the air that we breathe. It is the air that we breathe. That is why that anything that the zoo is doing to stop us, it is null and void. It cannot succeed. Because the air we breathe is from Chukwu Abiyama. And Chukwuki has given us Biafra, and no man nor spirit will stop it. Continue to put our leader in prayers. Those of you who knows how to call upon our ancestors, ceaselessly call upon them. Don't tire in supplicating unto heaven. Don't tire in calling upon the name of Chukwuki. Don't tire in presenting our case before our ancestors, because they are in this battle with us. And Chukwuki has assured us of victory. And victory we shall get. From me, from here, it is good night and remain blessed.
Before our enemies, we have sworn an oath to restore Biafra, or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. If the option they give to us is to seek our restoration by violence, every living thing living in the zoo will be destroyed. All the animals will be destroyed. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. We dedicate it into the hands of Chukwuabiama, the creator of the heavens and the earth, because only him decreed that we should exist as a race, and only him has the say to decide and to determine if we are to survive or not. We don't rest our hopes in any man. We don't believe that any country can do anything for us. We are going to reaffirm our faith in the supremacy of the creator of the heavens and the earth, Chukwuabiama, upon to whom and in whom every glory and honor belongs to. That's why we worship him and nothing else and no other. We worship the one true living God. That is who we worship. That is why we were created. We are not like any other people. We have been chosen by Chukwuabiama to serve him. We have been chosen by the creator of the heavens and the earth that we may serve him. That is why in our names it contains every praise imaginable. Every praise imaginable to the Most High is contained within our names, because we are very special people. We are here to reaffirm and reiterate that. We are here to ensure that this very march towards our freedom cannot be hindered. Any obstacle on our way, real or imagined, man or woman, adult or child, anything it is, once you are an impediment to the restoration of the sovereignty of Biafra, you will be destroyed completely and totally. In every way imaginable. We do not forgive. There is no forgiveness in our dictionary. We are here to ensure that the